Today we're coming to Donovan for the first time with Hurdy Gurdy Man. Very interesting title there. And we're coming to this one on a sponsored video from one of our longest sponsors on the channel, in Mark. Mark's been around for such a long time.
Yes.
And we're very grateful for his continued sponsorship. And we should add that he's going to have a request coming for Woodstock in August. He specifically wanted this released on Woodstock, not this one here, but the song that we've got coming.
That was really cool.
And so be on the lookout for that. And maybe we should add something else to our Woodstock playlist as well that we release that weekend. But anyways, we're coming to Donovan for the first time. Now, this song apparently has a whole ton of historical context that we need to sort through here. And maybe you guys can help us identify what's been deemed true and what's been deemed rumor. Would you like to elaborate on some of that, Samantha?
Yeah, so this came out in 1968, and it is rumored that some of the members who then became Led Zeppelin later on played on this song. But that is just
session musicians.
Yeah. So this is like before they got super popular and formed as a band, but we don't know if that is true or not. So you guys can let us know. And it's also rumored that I think it was Jimi Hendrix. He wanted to play guitar on this.
Apparently he wanted to have Jimi Hendrix play guitar, but it could have been Jimmy Page. So clearly he just wanted a Jimmy on the song.
Set on a Jimmy.
An expert level guitarist named Jimmy. That's what I need.
Yeah.
And this actually came about on a trip to India where he was traveling with the Beatles. And we know that George Harrison obviously was very heavily into meditation. And I think that was part of where that all came from, was their trip to India where they learned about it. And apparently we had Donovan that was on that trip with them.
Yeah, when he wrote the song.
Pretty wild, naming the Beatles and Led Zeppelin that this guy is hanging out with is pretty epic. And he's apparently deemed, one of the best singer-songwriters, mentioned in the same sentence as Bob Dylan. And we should also add that there was a George Harrison verse, right?
Yeah, that was apparently left off the actual recording, but it was written that way initially.
Yeah, so it was written and just never included. So really wild stuff happened with this.
Lots of backstory to this.
Think about the names that we just listed.
I know.
Bob Dylan.
Crazy.
Jimi Hendrix. The Beatles. Like, are you like going to get any bigger names than that?
Some of the biggest names in music history.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Mark was also saying that, given that context that we've provided now, perhaps we should dive deeper and there should be a follow-up to Donovan later on. But
definitely sounds like it. Oh, also we didn't mention that he's Scottish too, which is cool.
Yeah, he's from Scotland. So let us know where we should go next. This is our starting point. All thanks to Mark. Make sure you give a shout out to Mark down low in the comments section if you appreciate getting Donovan on the channel. We'd love to get more information, but we also love to support our community. Yeah, of course we do. We like to support our sponsors, guys, because
we like our community to support our sponsors.
Yeah, because we wouldn't be where we are today without you guys. So thank you, everybody, for supporting us. All right, Sam, you ready to check out Donovan?
I am. Let's do it.
The Hurdy Gurdy Man.
Thrown like a star in my vast sleep, I opened my eyes to take a peep, to find that I was by the sea, gazing with tranquility. Just then when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love. Then when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love. Hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy sang. Hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy sang. Hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy sang. Histories of ages past, unenlightened shadows cast down through all eternity, the crying of humanity. 'Tis then when the hurdy-gurdy man comes singing songs of love. Then when the hurdy-gurdy man comes singing songs of love. Hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy sang. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 hurdy-gurdy.
Well, this is crazy. This is wild. I mean, no, I'm so glad we know the context about this, because if we didn't, it probably wouldn't have hit me so hard. And it hit me hard because, number one, this is 100% Led Zeppelin. Like, I don't care what anybody says. My opinion is that this is Led Zeppelin. We've got Jimmy Page's guitar texture, and we've got John Bonham 100% is smashing the shit out of those drums.
Yeah.
And John Paul Jones is probably adding his creative influence to it. So, especially with like some of the echo that we're getting with the vocal, which adds this transcendental feel. That's what I'm trying to say, which obviously goes alongside the meditative state that they would have been in. And then that plays into the idea of the Hurdy Gurdy Man. I had to double check to make sure I was going to say that properly. That this guy is like here because humans, us as a species, we need these love songs to get us in touch with ourselves. And that's like, what meditation is all about. It's kind of like your inner self, right?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, like you said, getting the context is important, because like I could even see how when you're on a trip like that, like a lot of the time when you go on a trip somewhere, whether it's a missions trip or a meditative trip or whatever, like you go through this spiritual or transcendent experience yourself, and it makes you feel enlightened, right? And that's what I kind of get from the vibe of this song. Like, it's also very interesting though, because I feel like his vocal has this meditative quality in that it's very level, but it's very melodic, and it kind of like has this flow state.
Hypnotic.
Yeah, exactly. And it almost like takes you away like mentally, but there is this heavier sound to the instrumentation than what I would have expected for a song about like this meditative experience, right? It almost has this little extra like punch to it with the electric guitar and stuff like that. And then, like you said, obviously the actual message of the song goes right alongside that whole meditative feel of, you need to be kind of brought back to your center and grounded again. And, because it's so easy to get away from that, because us as humans, like our nature is to, get distracted and worry about all the wrong things.
Yeah, I think my feeling, we've done it so much Led Zeppelin on the channel, right? And so much of what we've done with them has been that journey, that hypnotic feel that we get musically, sonically. And I feel like that's what we're getting, but it's like Led Zeppelin with a different lead vocalist.
Yeah.
And that lead vocalist is not giving us what Robert Plant would in his dynamic capability.
Yeah.
But he's giving us this great songwriting, storytelling, and this, like you said, melodic delivery, but it's
very zen. Like in my head, like I could just picture, like I just picture him being like peace and love. Like that's kind of like the vibe that I get.
Yeah. Whereas like, obviously we love Robert Plant, but maybe his vocal like wouldn't have sit on this one in the same way, because it's not as like calm.
Yeah. He has more intensity, right?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. Yeah.
Then when the Hurdy Gurdy Man comes singing songs of love, Hurdy Gurdy, Hurdy Gurdy, Hurdy Gurdy, Gurdy sang. Hurdy Gurdy, 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 Gurdy sang. Here comes a roly-poly man and he's singing songs of love. Roly-poly, 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 he sang. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 he sang. Hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy.
feel like
Sorry, you're gonna say?
I feel like even the way that they use the stereo aspect in this and like the placement of the instrumentation and like some of the effects that they were using even added an added layer to that kind of transcendent, spiritual kind of like on this journey feeling.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely was innovative and unique, and you think about the time frame, and they definitely had the creative juices flowing, and they were in their flow state, as you alluded to.
Yeah.
Really a cool song that I very much enjoyed. I loved the mix between like this heavier sound that we got instrumentally with that, like you said, flow state Zen vibe from the lyrics and the delivery of the vocal.
Well, it's crazy because usually you'd think those two things wouldn't really go together, but it's almost like they complement each other in this composition.
Yeah, and I think the verse from George Harrison that was probably left off would have been that last section that we got from the instrumental, which I could see why they left it out, because it allowed the instrumentation that obviously, if it is the musicians that we think it was, and allows them to showcase their ability and their talent as well when they're obviously really young at this point. So very, very cool. I mean, never heard of Donovan before, but I'm very interested now to check out more. Like Mark said, we probably should. So big shout out to Mark for getting this one on our radar, as he's done Mark so many times before. And
musical masterpieces by Mark.
Make sure you give a shout out down low in the comment section to Mark, and let us know your favorite Donovan song. Let us know if there's anything that we might have missed, or maybe that we got errored in our context. But I love to learn, so I'll be reading those comments in the future. And other than that, what do they got to do, Sam? What's the most important thing that our community has to do?
Make sure they have a great day.
That's right. We'll see you on the next video.
Thanks for watching.